Hey y'all, it's Candace, owner of O Productions, wife, mama, child of God, here to encourage anybody who feels called to create. Called to create. Now, when I say create, I'm not just talking about artists and singers and dancers. Yes, I'm talking to you all, but I'm also talking to the people who are called to write, maybe start a business or something that may not be as forward facing or as grandiose as we would consider someone who's on a stage doing something, but you still feel like there's something in the earth for you to make, start, or create. I recently posted on Instagram about 3 books that I just felt led to read again. Two of them I'm reading again. One of them is new to me. I haven't read it yet. And I also started a fourth group that I'm going to put in this group. A fourth book that I'm going to put in this group that I don't have a physical copy of. I'm listening to the audiobook and I'm going to do the ebook. The reason for this, I really just want to encourage somebody because I know what it feels like to feel like an imposter or like you're not as creative as, and you have your list of people who you would categorize as capable and creative and they've got it. I don't. I'm not that great. I'm mediocre. I'm okay. I'm not the worst. I'm not amateur, but I'm not great. I tend to see that issue with perfection in people who are called to do things, right? Like, especially if you have a good eye for something or if you have a good or high standard for something, you're going to hesitate in creating it because you want your version of whatever you're going to do to be just like top tier. Okay. We're going for top tier status here. And when you're starting, a lot of times you're not starting at top tier. You're starting at the tier you can reach. Might be bottom, might be middle. Very rarely are we coming out the gate at the top. And I think the thing that makes us feel like that's possible is because we look at, people who inherit a lot of money or acquire businesses or businesses that have existed for hundreds of years. And they just are like, man, but I'm not at that level. It's like, no, the majority of people don't start at that level. The majority of people start at the bottom. Started at the bottom and we're here. Okay. So this is just a encouragement for you to get started. I'm going to share in the description. I'm going to share in the description a link to the books that I'm currently going through and reading. And the reason I think these books are important, or any books, whether it's a book or a podcast or even just talking to other people, I think is important because if we don't talk about it, if we don't stir up the gift, as the Bible calls it, stirring up the gift that the Lord has given us, if we don't wrestle with it in the context of community, we tend to bury it. It's less likely to actually be produced because there's no accountability. We're quick to talk ourselves out of things when we keep it inside, and it may never happen. And this is me saying, stop it, do the thing. And I think now is critical. I feel emotions. I don't cry a lot, guys. I don't cry a lot. I don't want to cry right now, but I think I have never felt more urgency to create. And I've been creative my whole life. A lot of my creating has just been a form of processing and a form of fun expression or just something to do, or I want to learn this, so I'm just going to do it. Just very unintentional, light, helpful, because I would use my creative gifts to help other people. But this time it feels necessary. It's never felt necessary. I think it's necessary for multiple reasons, and obviously the political climate is a strong reason. But before even all of that, I was feeling the necessity of it because there was so much division in the world, and especially in America. I can't really speak for the whole world. Let me just keep it to North America where I reside, I just know specifically the things that I am feeling called and seeing vision for, and wanting to create in the earth. I just, it's like it has to come out, like it has to happen. And some of it is stuff I've never done before. Like I've never done this. So I don't even know what I'm doing. So a lot of it is even learning how to do the thing that I'm seeing that needs to be done. And I'll just share one specifically. One, aside from doing this content, because this is new. This is new to do it every week, and to just kind of share from my heart and share from my experiences, and then also hopefully eventually get some feedback and start connecting with people as I continue to do this faithfully. But today, so right now we are out of town. By the time this video comes out, I'll be back home. But right now, let me make sure I'm recording. I be getting nervous. I'm so nervous one day I'm going to record a whole video and not have pressed record on my recorder. We rolling, so we're good. Anyway, right now we're out of town. I'm at a beautiful Airbnb. I mean gorgeous, for my sister's 29th birthday. And we decided, we had some downtime today, so we decided to go to the movies, and I wanted to see One of Them Days, the movie that Issa Rae just produced. She didn't write it. You could tell she didn't write it, but went to see it. And when we finished watching it, my husband was like, you got to write your show. You got to do it. So I have been talking about writing a show for, I think I've hit a year now. Like I've had the idea for this specific show with these specific characters for over a year. And it's still necessary. Like a year ago it was necessary, and even more so now it's necessary. And I've never scripted something on this level. Like I've scripted commercials or, short little promo videos or, short stuff. I've never scripted like a fictional show. And so this is new territory. I feel very unqualified. I never went to film school. I've never shot anything like this. I wouldn't even call myself a director. I've dabbled in directing, but I don't know that I wouldn't call myself a director. I just feel like I should not be the one to do this, but the vision for it is so clear. And as I'm studying the craft, it's getting more and more clear. So this is an encouragement to somebody who's like, but I've never done this, because we could use that as an excuse. I've never done this. Jesus, pick somebody who's done it, or let somebody else who's done it do this. You have been entrusted with a specific vision for a specific thing. Whether you have done it or not is not the prerequisite for the thing, right? Like, so I used this example when I made the post about feeling the urgency for creators to create and wanting to stir the pot and be like, yo, just go do the thing. I used the example of Noah. At the time that God told Noah to build the ark in Genesis, the world was dark, and it was so dark, the Lord was like, I got to just destroy everything. I can't even let the animals live. He could not even save the birds. Okay. That's wild. The earth was so dark. Humanity was so depraved. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you know what I'm saying. Things were so bad that the Lord was like, I'm just going to destroy it all. But before he did that, before he destroyed it all, he gave specific instructions. Specific. He didn't just say, Noah, build a boat. Go build something. Oh, just put something together and I'm gonna make it work. Whatever you put together, it'll be fine. He gave him specific detailed instructions, dimensions. He could see it before it existed. He could see it in detail before it existed. That's what's happening with me in this show, and I believe that God is doing that with other people. You can see it clearly. It's so clear you already know what it's supposed to look like. It's so clear you already know what it's supposed to feel like. It's so clear you already know what the systems and processes are supposed to be. Now, you may not have all the little tiny details, but you have enough to begin to build. And as you start to build, as you start to research, as you start to learn, I just believe all of the little pieces are going to come together. I don't think it will be without challenge. I don't think it will be without fight. I don't think it will be without discouragement. And so this is me imploring and encouraging and telling you it's go time. This is me also warning you that it will not be easy. It won't be easy because it's necessary. Anything that's necessary will come with opposition. It will come with challenges. It's going to feel like there's no way. There's so many examples. Like I'm also thinking about, first of all, why do we only talk about Jesus doing the 5 fish and 2 loaves when just a couple chapters later he does it again with 7 loaves or 7 something? It was 7. The number was 7. I can't remember if it was 7 loaves or 7 fish. I'd have to look it up again. I got my Bible right here. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Yeah, so like Mark 8, it talks about, again, in those days there was again a large crowd and they had nothing to eat. He called to his disciples and said, I have compassion on the crowd because they've already stayed with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. If I send them home hungry, they will collapse on the way, and some of them have come a long distance. Can you imagine? You have gone 3 days, which, by the way, I think we can go, I don't know what the number is, how many days you can go without food. Is it 3 days without food? We can go 3 days without water. I can't remember all the facts. Anyway, we can go a certain amount of days without water and a certain amount of days without food. But anyway, all this to say, these people have traveled far and have sat at Jesus's feet for 3 days with no food. The other one is Mark chapter 6. Mark chapter 6, he feeds the 5,000. Come away, let's talk in a remote place. And the people came from everywhere and they were hungry. And Jesus tells them, you give them something to eat. We ain't got nothing, Jesus. What you got? We got these fish and these 5 loaves of bread. Here's the point I'm making. The point I am making is in moments of desperation, in moments of lack, in moments where there isn't enough, Jesus fills the gaps. God gives specific instructions. Jesus fills the gaps. We have the Holy Spirit. If you're a believer in Jesus Christ, if you're not and you're interested, send me an email, DM me something, wherever you're watching this. We can talk about that. But I just know he's going to be faithful. That's it. That's all I can promise. If you are a child of God and he tells you to do something and you do it out of obedience, it will all work out somehow. You may have trials, you may have troubles, you may be broke for a minute. You may feel like this is crazy and I have lost my mind. And Jesus, did I actually hear you? Like, did you really tell me to do this? Because it's feeling like no. It's really feeling like no. Imagine Noah, going back to that example, it's feeling like it's not good. What even is rain? Okay, we've never had it. What are you even talking about? You're telling me to build something that has never been seen, also for something that has never been seen. You're telling me to build an ark for rain that has never happen. I don't even know what rain is. What are you talking about? I say all this to say just do the thing. That's the whole point of this video. Do the thing. I want to encourage you. I want you to feel like seen in your fear, but also encouraged in your faith to do the thing that you are feeling led to do. And I'm going to put those books in the description. I'm going to implore and encourage you to continue to pray, but also to put feet to it, because y'all, it's getting I don't want to get into specifics. We all know, we see it, we feel it. If you are anywhere connected to the news, or it's like unavoidable at this point to see a lot of the shifts and changes in people as individuals, and in leadership, and in church. Like, it's just a lot happening. And I know you're important. I know what's in you is important, and it is necessary. Otherwise, you would not have it in you. There would be no stirring. Okay. You wouldn't feel like, I'm supposed to do this, or I got this idea. It would not be a burden on your heart. There's a lot of things that I know I ain't got to touch. Like, no part of me feels called, led, or equipped. And equipped is not a prerequisite for the calling, but I'm just saying there are certain things that I know, like, yeah, that ain't for me. Like, if the Lord, if somebody came to me and said, you are called to start a bakery, and you're going to bake the best cakes and cookies anybody's ever seen, and when people come through that door, they are going to know Jesus because of your cookies. Like, I'm going to be like, nah, that ain't it. That don't resonate. But anyway, y'all get my point. Do the thing. I'm about to go continue this vacation. I hear them coming in. So that's the alarm. The door does that every time we open the door. But anyway, y'all got it. Thanks for watching. Do the thing. And